Now, more than ever, the holidays are a season for tradition, for comfort, and for joy everywhere. Hello, I'm Martha Stewart. Tonight, we have chosen to honor treasured traditions from around the world that are the roots of America's family celebrations, and we are bringing them home for the holidays. For me, the holiday season is filled with wonder, anticipation, and excitement. And tonight, I hope you'll join me on an amazing journey to learn about some of the traditions from around the world that make our holidays special. In our American melting pot, traditions give meaning to the holidays from generation to generation. So tonight, from around the globe, we bring you wonderful artisans and chefs who preserve their cherished Christmas customs. Special guests share holiday memories. And Charlotte Church sings one of my favorite carols. The holidays are full of surprises, and I have some for you.
Keep blowing. Oh, look at that.
I can't wait to go back there. But for now, let's start right here with the Christmas tree and all the great variety of lovely Christmas decorations from all over the world. In every country, each tree is as unique as the family that decorated it. These trees are inspired by the legends and customs of the countries they represent. I'm standing in front of our American tree. Historically, Americans decorated trees with native fruits like cranberries and popcorn. I have some wonderful garlands right here. Double garlands of cranberries, big fat garlands of freshly popped corn. And we've added vintage and new patriotic ornaments. I grew up in Nutley, New Jersey, and our tree reflected my family's roots in Poland, where ornaments are often made of straw and wheat to represent the hay in the nativity manger. Look at this gorgeous little wreath made out of wheat. My grandparents would love this tree.
My earliest memories of Christmas in Canada were we would buy a Christmas tree, and we'd bring it back. My grandfather had this green box that he had made. He'd painted it. He was a handy guy, you know. And it was filled with the decorations that he'd collected over the years. And my father would put the star on top of the tree. And that was how it always ended, you know. Then you knew the tree was done when Dad put the star on top. And he was always the guy that did that, you know. And, I mean, that was the one thing I wanted to do, you know.
I know that most of you probably hang a wreath on your front door to greet the holiday season. But did you know that wreaths date back more than 2,000 years? They were used to crown Olympic champions. This fragrant boxwood wreath, well, it's our American interpretation of that Greek tradition. Here's our worldwide approach to holiday wreaths. The English wreath is made of holly, a favored winter decoration since the days when Druids brought it inside their homes to protect the plant's spirits from snow and cold. Bonfires blaze beyond pyramids of pomegranates when Christmas in Spain blooms with colorful dances, feasts, and parades. This lovely lavender wreath represents France, where skiers carry torches down the Alps on their way to midnight mass, and children set their shoes by the window in anticipation of Père Noël. During the holidays, decorations made from straw, including braided wheat wreaths, are placed throughout homes in Poland as a reminder of the Christmas manger. Luca della Robbia was a 15th century sculptor who made wreaths into frames. Italy's wreath is made in his style of gilded fruit, flowers, and leaves. Red, white, and blue unite our states as one great nation. And you can make this beautiful boxwood wreath, a plump boxwood wreath wrapped with strands of cranberries that have been put on fine wire and a patriotic ribbon interspersed between the cranberry garlands. And this I'm just tightening, cut it off, and pin it to the wreath. And you can find this patriotic ribbon, by the way, in a variety of patterns. Any of those would make a beautiful wreath. And now, once you get your ribbons on, The wreath is done. You can do one more thing, though, to make it really patriotic. You can affix right at the top of your wreath 1 or 2 American flags. These are little vintage American flags that we've collected. And now your wreath is ready to hang on any window or door of your house.
Coming up, Martha shares an Italian Christmas Eve meal. And later, Welsh singing sensation Charlotte Church, when Home for the Holidays continues. Martha Stewart's Home for the Holidays is brought to you in part by S.C. Johnson, a family company, and by Kmart, where this holiday low prices are our gift to you.
We always baked in our house at Christmas time, and baking is indeed an important holiday custom all over the world. These holiday breads are from France. This one is called the Pilgrim and the Christmas Tree. And the one over here is called the Crown and Dice bread. And this one has a bean hidden deep inside. Whoever finds it is king or queen for the day. The aroma of freshly baked bread is so enticing, and there's nothing like authentic holiday bread. Kolach is the centerpiece of the Ukraine's Christmas meal. 3 braided rings are placed around a candle to create a symbol of eternal life. Lubo Wolinets learned to bake kolach from her mother.
I was born in Ukraine in the Carpathian Mountains. I can remember the aroma in the kitchen at holiday was something you can never forget because of the baking.
Spasia Lafazanis is a home baker from Thessalonica, the second largest city in Greece. She is making the Greek holiday bread, basilopita, which has a coin hidden inside somewhere, and the one who finds it has good luck. Biagio Cittipani is the owner of Bruno Bakery in New York City, where he makes Italy's intensely fragrant honeycombed holiday bread, Pandoro.
Pandoro takes from start 1, it takes about 36 hours before it comes out of the oven. Every family in Christmas share together.
Incredible skill is needed because the dough has to be carefully mixed in a process that takes 2 days.
Buon Natale.
I realized, of course, that there was a Santa Claus and that he was me. And I look like Santa Claus, and little kids follow me around wherever I go. Little Italian kids look at me and say, Babbo Natale, and they absolutely believe it, and I believe it too.
Christmas Eve in Italy is celebrated with particular fanfare, where the holiday dinner is as much about spending time in the kitchen with family and friends as it is about feasting. And the feasting traditions in Italy are as treasured as its rich culture, ancient ruins, and glorious churches.
Olive, chile e la salsa di pomodoro già fatto e finito con la mentuccia. Erbe, speziamolo.
For Chef Mario Batali, Christmas Eve dinner was always eaten around Grandma Batali's table and involved an array of fish dishes. Marinated eel, fresh anchovies, bacala or salt cod with mint and chilies.
Chile.
Mario and his friend, Italian chef Cesare Casella, joined me to prepare this fabulous feast. 7 fishes.
Snapper, octo, shrimp, clams, bacala, anchovies, and the eel.
So 7 fishes.
7's for the sacraments, 10's for the Stations of the Cross, 13 is for the apostles and Jesus, and each family may change from 9 to 12 to 7 is the classic, though.
And now we're going to make the gamberoni.
Gamberoni in acqua pazza.
Crazy water.
Crazy water.
Ah, good.
Very simple.
Okay.
Now, acqua pazza, crazy water, the name is mythical. It's not really certain exactly who first coined it, but if you're lost at sea and only drink seawater, obviously you go crazy. And it involves the beautiful flavors of this anise flavoring.
Oh, I love them all so much. So half a bowl for you and a half for me.
Then we'll take some garlic and just split it open like this.
How much garlic?
2 cloves.
Oh, okay.
Then we're going to take a couple of these hot chilies and leaving the seeds in, just chop straight across.
Okay.
If you took the chili seeds out, obviously, it would be a little less spicy, but we like this to be really a fiery dish.
Don't touch it.
Which makes it
Don't
even more
touch it.
pazza. Then we want to get it right in there. So that's going to create all of the fragrance that we want for all of that beautiful sauce. Now what we're going to do is just add a little water, some crushed tomatoes,
Don't breathe too close. That
Add a little
hot,
wine?
oh, it's so beautiful.
I'm going to add about 2 good-sized handfuls and a little pinch more. Now I'm going to simulate some seawater here by just taking regular water and adding sea salt into it. And then we're going to add some wine because that obviously adds a little acidity and some more
Nice
depth.
Italian wine, I hope.
Absolutely, a Verdicchio in this case. Whenever I'm talking to people about using wine, I always say, always use the leftover wine to cook with. Don't go buy an inexpensive wine. But in fact, at my house, there's very rarely leftover wine, so it's a bit of a joke.
So you're opening good wine all the time.
We're opening good wine to all the time to make sure that we use it all the time. Shrimp here. Now we've got these beautiful head-on shrimp. They're so gorgeous.
How many?
Let's put in a dozen each. Drop them in. Then you put the top on.
Could be better.
And they'll be ready in 2 minutes.
Oh. Yum. Wow.
And there you have it.
Cesare,
Gamberoni.
what do you think?
Acquapazzo. So beautiful. Light flavor.
Beautiful. The 7 fish dishes fill the kitchen with the incredible essence of a traditional Italian Christmas Eve dinner.
That came out pure Christmas. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Beautiful.
And the smell of that. Oh, that's a natural. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this beautiful
And every
bacala.
clam has a clam in it.
Oh, those fish look gorgeous, Chiz.
Oh, my gosh. How beautiful. And just a drizzle of olive oil?
Just a drizzle over the top. There we go.
Buon Natale, Cesare, Mario. I can't think of a better feast than 7 fishes cooked by 2 Italians.
Buone feste. Buone feste.
And let's finish off this feast with a Christmas carol from the Brooklyn Youth Chorus.
There's always snow in Canada in December. And the thing that I did was to go up to the mountains, the Laurentian Mountains that surrounded Montreal. They were north of Montreal. And we'd take the train, and the train would be loaded with skiers. I was a great fan of skiing. I loved skiing as a kid and still do. And up we'd go to the small towns, the small French-Canadian towns in the Laurentian Mountains, and we'd ski. And on Christmas Eve, they would give us a torch, sometimes sparkling, sometimes just lit with kerosene and rags. Hundreds of people with torches skiing down the hill, doing S-turns, and that was the big celebration. It was like, here comes Santa Claus.
It's hard to believe when you visit Japan that the celebration of Christmas is relatively new. The Japanese have adapted the ancient art of origami to this special day. Legend has it that folding 1,000 paper cranes can guarantee good health. They look gorgeous on a tree like this. And our English tree, well, it's decorated with hellebores, also known as Christmas roses. They bloom in December. And on the tree, wonderful English Christmas cards. And it's been said that the first printed holiday card was sent in 1843 in England.
Coming up, Martha helps light up a Mexican Christmas tradition. Plus, Welsh singing sensation Charlotte Church, when Home for the Holidays continues.
What's exciting about Christmas in Puerto Rico is that in the town, there's 3 men playing guitars, acoustic guitars, and they go to every single house in town singing traditional Spanish Christmas songs. And I love that, and I remember I just couldn't wait for the 3 guitar men to come around, and they would represent the 3 wise men, and it just goes on all night long, and that was my fondest Christmas memory.
In Finland and Norway and Sweden, the traditional gift giver was a goat, believe it or not, that knocked loudly at the door and then threw in a wrapped gift. And today, the Christmas goat has since been replaced with Santa Claus. But here we have a symbolic goat made out of straw right on our beautiful, colorful tree. And we've decorated our Mexico tree, of course, with red-hot chili peppers and tin ornaments. I think they're so charming and so colorful, but even more beautiful are these corn husk poinsettias. The poinsettia is native to Mexico and Central America, and because of its festive colors, it became La Flor de Nochebuena, or the Christmas Eve flower. I like this tree. Fire and light are part of holiday festivities everywhere. There's a 9-day fiesta that is part parade and part block party, which began over 400 years ago in Mexico. There, pageants of fire and light wind through the cities, towns, and villages in a procession known as Las Posadas. The ancient art of crafting the pageant's tin lanterns still thrives in the 450-year-old town of San Miguel de Allende, where our guest, Enrique Badillo, lives. And I'm very happy that he's here with me today in our little Mexican workshop, where he's teaching me the art of being a tinsmith. Enrique, how long have you been a tinsmith?
Since I was a baby.
Did you go to school?
Yeah, I went to school. And then I was watching my dad doing artesanias. So I was proud of my dad, and I was wishing to be like him.
Well, it's not as hard as you think. If you treat tin as paper, it's just like cutting out paper dolls, and I'm having a good time with this. The tools, though, are very important, aren't they, Enrique?
Yeah, they are.
Yes. These are the shears.
This is the scissors.
Uh-huh.
This is the compass.
And then you have your old-fashioned hammers.
Yeah.
Was this your dad's?
That's my dad's. So he
I
bigger
like
ones.
this.
And that's mine.
Oh, this is heavier.
Yeah, that's heavier.
Is he bigger than you are?
With what?
Your
Older.
dad? He's older.
Yeah, that's older.
And show now, I'm doing it. Why don't you show us how fast it can really be done, because I think you are such a proficient tinsmith. Oh, yeah, see, you're doing it much faster than I.
There you go.
Okay.
So you're going to have this little tool right here. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Just follow my steps.
Oh, so this actually makes a real hole, and you can use this on leather also. So it should be done in one hit?
Yeah.
You can just be very imaginative and make...
Oh, you can make anything. Any design that you want.
Ah, look.
It's looking good. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful.
This is very excellent.
The next step is these flowers right here.
Oh, some pretty designs. And what kind of tool do you use for that?
This one, I'm going to use one like this and one down like that.
Okay.
One up here and one below.
Look how beautiful mine is turning out.
Yeah, that's great.
Very fun. So you can make flowers, you can make
hearts,
leaves, hearts. I have another idea.
Okay, yeah. I mean, anything that you put is good, because the more that you put, more holes that you make,
the more
better.
area.
Yeah.
Well, mine has enough holes, I think. What do you think?
That's nice. I like that. I like the one that's
around. It's good around the top, huh? To form the lantern, we scored both edges and bent a small portion of the tin backward with a hammer. The two flaps are secured by hitting the seam with an ordinary piece of wood. I like that noise it makes.
Yeah. You can hold it just like this. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, your first luminaria.
Oh. Well, now we're ready to celebrate Christmas the Mexican way with wonderful luminaria. Muchas gracias, Enrique.
Gracias to you.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad, too.
The holiday lights also burn brightly up north. In Sweden, country fiddling and the custom of calling across fields to neighbors and animals have survived since medieval times. Fiddler Sven Alback and his wife, caller Suzanne Rosenberg, preserve these traditions in a most amazing way. When we come back, we're going to learn why 13 is lucky for Christmas in southern France.
And later, Martha brings home Germany's legendary Christmas pyramids, plus antique holiday ornaments, when Martha Stewart's Home for the Holidays returns.
In Germany and the Ukraine, people actually put spiders on their trees. According to an old legend, a poor widow wanted to create a wonderful Christmas for her children. So she gathered a tree to decorate with fruits and nuts. Spiders living in the nooks and crannies watched her hard work, and when she finally went to sleep, they spun their webs all over the tree. On Christmas morning, the sun magically turned the spider webs into silver, creating the very first tinsel, and it glistened just like this.
When I was growing up in England, the one thing we always made sure we had was the ubiquitous Christmas pudding, which is a very important part of Christmas in Britain, and something I miss in America. It's a sort of a boiled pudding packed with fruit. It has to cook. I seem to remember it cooking for hours and hours and hours, wrapped up in a piece of muslin, always homemade at that point. And then that would be served after the main Christmas meal, and all the lights would be switched out, and you know, my mother and father would go off in the kitchen, and eventually the Christmas pudding would arrive in the dark with a light, because they'd have bought a little tiny bottle of brandy, and they pour brandy on it and set light to it. So that was always sort of very exciting as a kid.
There are so many really delicious holiday cookies, and beautifully wrapped in a tin like this, they make a great gift. I never tire of getting and eating delicious cookies. Throughout the world, cookies are baked to celebrate festive occasions. These traditions date back to a time when sugar, nuts, and spices were rare ingredients reserved for holidays. China's almond cookies get their flavor from the east, and their shortbread texture from the west. In Germany, anise-flavored dough is shaped in molds to create springerles. Sandbachelse are Sweden's crumbly cookies seasoned with cardamom and filled with jelly. Scotland's shortbread cookies are made rich with butter and brown sugar. Nut-laden pastry and jam make Austria's Linzers so tasty. England's brandy snaps are made by wrapping hot, golden cookies around a wooden spoon. Palmiers, named for the resemblance to the tops of palm trees, are an elegant puff pastry from France. And just one of the fabulous holiday treats you can find there. I'm always ready for desserts, and on Christmas Eve in southern France, I'd be really lucky because the holiday meal includes the famous 13 desserts. 13 desserts, it's called. Fruits filled with marzipan, tiny chocolates topped with pieces of candied fruit and nuts, and fougasse, a rich brioche-like bread. Pastry chef Jacques Torres grew up in Provence and remembers this very special tradition.
In a village, 12 families got together, and every family bring a dessert. And there was a person who has no home, no family around, and so they invite him and they create one dessert for him. That was the 13 desserts. So that's what we believe in Provence.
Oh, well, these are beautiful, jewel-like desserts, and they are so much fun to make. So show me how to make the figs, because these figs are plump. For each fruit, you've designed a color of the marzipan. For example, if you're using pink with apricots, what would you flavor that?
Rose water.
Oh, yum.
And we do the green with pistachio paste. We're going to take a little bit of brown color.
And here are our figs.
We kind of make those balls a little bit flat and put that on the bottom of the fig and put the top back. That's it.
Oh, and it's so beautiful. To quickly finish the fruits, simply roll them in sugar. Or you can try the more complicated yet traditional method, which Jacques shared with me. 16 cups of sugar.
16 cups of sugar.
See, this is what I like about Jacques' business. He doesn't hesitate to use sugar and
use a lot of it.
Cream and chocolate and flavors. Whisk the sugar thoroughly in 6 cups of hot water and bring it to a boil for 2 minutes. Then let the syrup cool for 2 to 3 hours.
We just put all the syrup until, actually I'm going to pour it, until the syrup covers all the foods.
What a great idea. So right in the cookie sheet.
When we reach almost the top of the tray, we stop and we're going to put...
Please stop. What a fantastic technique.
The food.
Oh, then you can see the difference. Let's show them the difference. Here,
yes.
This is a good one.
That's the shortcut.
Okay.
And that's the real sugar syrup.
There's a definite difference. this is a little, let's just show, but this is still beautiful. My gosh, look how gorgeous that is inside. And then this one.
This is a little bit more crunchy on the outside. We have a
On
little
the
crust
outside.
there.
Oh, see, it has the crust, and that crust is protecting the inside from drying out. And then, of course, there are many other desserts in the Tres Desserts, and Jacques is going to show us how to make mendiant, and these are beautiful, Jacques.
Thank you, Martha. The first thing that we have to do is toast the nuts. We're going to cook that at 315 degrees, no more than that, and for about 20 minutes.
Now watch this. He could be a plasterer. He could be a spackler.
So what I'm doing here, I'm spreading the chocolates, and I take the bottom in contact with the marble to the top. And I'm going to wait until the chocolate starts to crystallize. I need to form new crystal of fat, so we start with the chocolate at 103. We're going to end up with around 90 degrees.
When the chocolate reaches the correct temperature, it's spooned onto a cookie sheet.
To make them round, I have a technique here. I have to show you that.
I want to see.
Okay, so I put the tray in front of me, and I do a circle with it.
Oh, you twirl it.
And then they come pretty flat and pretty round.
Okay, and here's your nuts.
Okay, so we can put them here. Like that, we can work together. And we put 2-3 nuts on top of each of the mendiant.
Something so beautiful out of Belgian chocolate, pistachio nuts.
And we still have that.
Hazelnuts.
Still part of the tradition.
Beautiful, beautiful Tres Desserts.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you.
I know we are. We're going to use all these recipes.
Great.
I love food and I love Christmas. Why not get the two go together? And it's brilliant. It's like an excuse to eat as many chocolates and as many sweet stuff and fat stuff as possible, and nobody can say, no, you can't, no, come on, think you're big, and you're like, I don't care, it's Christmas, you know, bring on the chocolates. It's brilliant.
Home for the holidays in a moment.
Under our giant Christmas tree, this charming village is a German holiday tradition called a Putz, from the German putzen, to decorate. It belongs to Dave Eppelheimer from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I wish I had one as magnificent as this. There are gaggles of geese, flocks of sheep, goats in a manger, pigs in a pen. There are ice skaters and wonderful little houses and horses pulling wagons. It's really beautiful. My favorite holiday collectible was a charming creche my Aunt Clemmy rescued from someone's attic. Through the years, I added animals and fences and trees and even some angels. I found beautiful figures in Colombia, Mexico, and Peru, and the entire scene is a wonderful reminder of my childhood.
In Italy, every church has the creche, and some of them are incredibly beautiful. They are 200 or 300 years old with puppets. They are antique puppets dressed in incredible costume. And that's one of the great traditions in Italy, going from church to church to see what we called presepio. And everybody at home has a presepio. And that is the fondest memory I have.
Do you know where the idea of bringing a Christmas tree into the house came from? In the Middle Ages, Germans had evergreen branches in their homes during the dark, cold winters as a symbol of life. In forested regions, they brought the entire tree into the house and decorated them with candles, fruits, and sweets. Legend has it, the German Christmas pyramid started it all. Similar in shape to the Christmas tree, it was handcrafted with holiday scenes, candles, and a propeller. Here to show us how it's made is a fourth-generation craftsman from Seifen, Germany, Ringo Mueller. It's so nice that you're here, Ringo. This is a very beautiful craft.
My great-grandfather founded our company 102 years ago in a small mining village called Seifen.
And each layer in this beautiful pyramid contains the story of Christmas. Ringo was telling me about the woods. This beautiful striped wood is what?
This is soprano wood.
Each one of these figures is made out of several types of wood, and each one is so carefully crafted. A dark hat is not stained, it's wood. The little sheep are so charming. Can I help you make one?
Yeah, we need 2 more sheep for that platform, and you can make the wool coat on it.
So the little faces have already been painted?
Yeah, and now we glue the rest of the body.
Even the ears?
If you want.
Okay, I like woolly ears.
Yeah.
So we dip this now?
In the sawdust, and press the sawdust onto the body.
And it makes a woolly lamb. A very cute woolly lamb. See? Very finely coated.
Oh, perfect.
I can come to work in the factory?
Yeah, of course.
To construct the pyramid, a smooth glass ball is glued into the base, and a long metal spindle is inserted to hold each platform in place. Now this is the creche.
Look you.
So you can see that you can really teach the Bible, story of Christmas, and now we can install not only the top, but the wonderful propeller.
Very important on this platform, on this tier, is the crown.
This crown is gorgeous. So there's 6 candle holders that will make enough heat to warm the air to turn the propeller, right?
That is correct.
I'll place the candles in the holders. Now, some of these wonderful pyramids are painted.
Yeah, we have 1 2-tier pyramid which is painted. Now we can go on the candles on.
So this is wonderful. Now, where do you put this in your house?
We put it on the table, drink some coffee and eat cookies. It gives the typical atmosphere in our region for the Christmas time.
Well, thank you very much, Ringo, and thank your family, your great-great-grandfather, for creating such a wonderful artisanal shop. It's great.
Thank you very much.
Fascinating ornaments I've ever seen are the Dresden ornaments that originated in Germany in the mid-1800s. Like all Dresdens, the animals in this collection are elaborately designed and intricately constructed. Though only a few inches in size, each was created with an amazing amount of detail, so you can see fur, scales, and feathers. Dresdens were treasured gifts in the 19th century, used for place cards, ornaments, and candy boxes. The creation of spectacular folk art thrives during the holidays in Poland, where the sky shines bright on Christmas Eve, and everyone waits for the first star of the night to appear so the festivities may begin. Krakow, Poland, one of the season's highlights is the building of the elaborate Szopki Krakowski. These soaring towers and spires mirror the architecture of Krakow. Though elaborate in design, they are made of simple materials such as wood, cardboard, and foil paper. And believe it or not, you can actually make these yourself. I'm here with Barbara Franczkiewicz, who's going to show us how. And so, foil,
cardboard,
boxes.
You have to look around in all the rooms of your home, and you probably have the ingredients you need right there. I want to explain about the foil. This is very easily rolled to these little balls.
Look at all the balls. They look like absolutely molten silver. So how did this Krakow crib originate?
As far back as the 13th century, it was very popular for representations of the Christmas manger to be in the churches.
Krakow is the most beautiful city, and the buildings are very reminiscent of some of these amazing Szopki that are around us.
Yes, the green domes and these wonderful turrets. That is taken directly from St. Mary's Church Tower.
Now, we should add some towers to this one, don't you think?
That would be wonderful. This one could be used as a central tower, just with simple rectangles.
This is a wonderful project to do with children.
Exactly.
And this one goes?
This could be the two towers.
Oh, on the sides?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what you're going to do with the balls.
Well, I'm just adding a very simple decoration here to continue the ornamentation. I think that adds a lot of sparkle.
How do we make our cupola?
This dome was made just by crushing the foil into a ball and by adding these cords. We have another element. This is the emblem of Poland. It's a white eagle, and this is interpreted in silver foil. We could set this in the center.
Oh, very
of
important.
Our dome. Yes.
How beautiful.
We have these turrets.
Oh, those are cute, too.
Yes. You don't have to be too concerned about the effect, because what you're going to do is add some ornamentation. For example, you could take one of these cords and wrap it around the base, or add any other kind of ornamentation.
And I think the more, the merrier, since it's almost like making a gingerbread mansion, only a lot more long-lived.
Definitely.
Well, here's my very modest beginning of my first Szopka Krakowska.
Oh, but we do need to add flags to the turrets.
Oh, yes, they look a little bare.
This is actually very often a flag of Poland, which would be a white field over a red field, and we've interpreted that in silver. I think that adds a very nice finishing touch.
Oh, it does, and keeps the eagle happy.
Wonderful. I'd like to wish you Wesołych Świąt.
Oh, the same to you.
Thank you.
It's Merry Christmas in Polish. And now let's go further east into Russia and enjoy the lively sounds of the Damra, the Bayan, and the three-sided balalaika, played by the Russian Carnival Ensemble. You're going to enjoy this. When we come back, we'll turn fire into ice. Beneath spacious skies and from sea to shining sea, there's no place like home. Christmas is magical in the United States, the melting pot of culture, tradition, and imagination. Many holiday ornaments are made of glass, some larger than others. I made this giant ball with an American artist who has blown glass all over the world using centuries-old techniques.
Keep blowing.
His name is Dale Chihuly, and although he doesn't make ornaments, I convinced him to let me blow a very large glass bowl for my tree. But even this simple task was a challenge.
Keep blowing. Don't exhaust yourself. There you go. Look at that. You can.
I'd rather uneven.
Keep blowing in a little bit more. That's it. You wouldn't want just a round ball anyway.
This art of breathing form into sand and fire bridges cultures and countries, and its magical alchemy symbolizes the miracles of the Christmas season. No one does it better than Dale Chihuly, who has blown past the craft's traditional boundaries. We're at Urban Glass, and he's going to show us how to blow glass and to create an art sculpture that is unbelievable. It's all about icicles, but with lots of heat. You're making ice with heat.
We are. This is a typical glass shop with a team working here, which is the way it's been done for 2,000 years. The Venetians started about 1000 AD. It was the Venetians who really fine-tuned the process.
These are called
These
furnaces?
are the furnaces, 2,300 degrees.
2,300 degrees.
Yeah.
And here on the table, because this sculpture that Dale is creating is clear glass and cobalt blue, this is ground up glass particles. And this is what's going to give those icicles that shimmering blue down in the center, right?
Absolutely.
They're picking up the glass.
There they just picked up the glass and they're dripping it off. All right, here we are, coming out, picking up some
jimmies.
Some jimmies.
It was just like chocolate jimmies, but this is fricks, right?
Frick. Probably picked up 1,000 of them. Now
Beautiful,
he's picked them up. Now he's going to go back in the furnace and heat it.
Okay.
And in this furnace here, which is closer to the bench, it's about temperature and reheating. Give it to Jim.
I want to see what they're doing here, too. This is what,
That's a
cooling it?
wooden block.
Yeah.
And it's wet, so it's cooling it. And because it's wet, it doesn't burn. Jim is now crimping the glass with the tongs.
Oh, it's great.
Perfect. Now Jim's going to pull out a point because he wants something to be able to grab when he stretches it. There we go.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to give it a little
He's gonna
puff.
blow, okay.
Then he's going to heat it in the furnace and then stretch it. Now he hands it up, and now it's being stretched. He's watching very carefully the temperature of the glass. But you see that there's a hole down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And when we're building the sculpture, you'll see that each icicle goes over a rod. Once you get it cooled down a little bit, have Martha pull it.
Martha, go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
Just grab.
Great.
This one?
down just a little bit.
Right here?
No, the big one.
big one.
Yeah, on the large one.
So just gently pull.
Perfect.
And it is hot.
Perfect. Beautiful icicle. You see all that crimping now, what it did? It made this nice texture. Not so hot now?
No, it's okay.
Just right.
I like long icicles.
Well, that's a long icicle. That's about a 3-footer.
That is a beauty. I like how it curves, too. I just want a whole row of these on the eaves of my house forever.
Now.
Oh, look, that's a nice twist.
They're going to come in with the torch.
Okay. Soften the tip, right?
Yep.
So you can see with all this action going on here, it's kind of scary in a way because this is very hot.
They're fire polishing the end of the piece.
Oh, remember, that's mine, okay? I want that one.
No, we'll get you that one. Yeah, you crimped it and stretched it.
It's beautiful.
You earned that one.
Ironically, the icicles cool at 900 degrees. Here the true color emerges, and then Dale, once again, works his artistic magic. So this is what happens when you put them all together. It's incredible.
300 parts, and you put all that color together, and it has a lot of power. As much as I love glass blowing, what I like even more is to be able to take all of these parts and put them together, mass all of this blue ice to form this mass that makes people feel good.
It is very beautiful and a most amazing, amazing thing to see.
Thank you.
It's great. Putting all the pieces together is what makes the holidays so special. It's wonderful to share these rich traditions with our family and friends all over the world and bring the magic home. A very Merry Christmas and a very happy holiday to everyone, everywhere.
Matthew Modine and Vanessa Redgrave in Jack and the Beanstalk.